Today, we're diving into the Spokane renters market. Are prices soaring or plummeting? Is it a landlord or a renter's market? Stick with us till the end to find out some strategies for renters to compete in today's market. Hello and welcome back to Living in Spokane, Washington, the channel where we cover anything and everything about living in Spokane. If you're new, my name is Hunter McKay. I'm a local real estate broker with over a decade of experience in the Spokane real estate market. If you live in Spokane or you're looking to make a move, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell. That way you're the first to know when we release our upcoming videos. Spokane is known for its stunning landscapes and affordable cost of living. But what is the housing market really like in this beautiful city? Well, we've done the research and the results might surprise you. First off, the rental market in Spokane is booming. With an influx of people moving to the city, a demand for rental properties is at an all-time high. This causes prices for rentals to go up, which is of course fantastic for rental owners and property owners alike. However, for renters, it's the complete opposite. With things being at an all-time high for demand in the city, it can be really difficult for people to find what they want in the area they want at an affordable price. So, what's driving the rental prices in Spokane? Well, first of all, Spokane is a really great place to live, and it's attracting more and more people to the city every day. The city's strong job market is attracting professionals from various industries, as we discussed in a previous video. If you would like to check it out, it will be linked in the description below. Additionally, with the recent pandemic, we've seen a huge influx of people from places like Las Vegas, Seattle, Portland, and other big cities throughout California, like LA and San Francisco. As the pandemic hit most of these big cities, it became really easy for people with a high cost of living with a well-paying job in these cities to take their high-paying job and come to Spokane. And so a lot of people did, and even more people took early retirement. And a lot of those people chose to buy property, and a lot of locals got pushed out because they could no longer afford to live here. As more and more people from big cities move to the area, not everyone buys a home, and a lot of them are pushed into renting until they can find something that was really right for them. The pandemic also increased the overall shortage of units available and really slowed down builders' ability to make new units, both for purchase and for rent. And so a lot of big complexes that would have been built throughout the last 3 to 5 years just stopped. And so overall, we just don't have enough housing for all the people that are living in the local area. And that doesn't accommodate all of the new people that are moving in as well. So what do renters need to do in order to be prepared for this market? The truth is, you need to be prepared to communicate and act fast. If you see something that you like, 3 other people are already communicating about it, and so you need to be talking to the landlord and standing out in some way. That way your application can be first, and your application can be qualified the right way. In order to do this, make sure that your application is totally complete. Don't leave anything blank, and make sure all of your contact information is correct. Follow up with the landlord after you've submitted it to make sure that they've got it, and that you know what your place in line is. Make sure that you don't let more than a day or 2 go before following up again if you don't hear back either. You really need to stay on top of everything, otherwise you may not get a house. I think a lot of the time it's easy to get overwhelmed as a renter because you go online, you see that everything is way more expensive than you want it to be. Plus there are all of these fees. You have pet rent, pet deposit, your security deposit, move-in fees, God forbid there's utilities and extra washer and dryer fees. It's amazing how many different things can begin to get tacked on. And so you just stop following the instructions because you've already done the application 4 or 5 different times and no one's heard back yet. So I really have to push back and say, did you do the application correctly? Did you follow all of the instructions? I have a triplex that I get to turn over once a year right about this month, and it's torturous for me because when I list all 3 units, I get thousands of applications, and most of them are incomplete. 90% of the people don't show up at the times they say they do, and then they get mad at me because I'm not just hanging out at the property to show it to them whenever they show up. And so it becomes challenging not to just take the first qualified person who followed all of the steps. And it can be really challenging because there's 150 applicants across 3 units, and you want to find the best applicant who did it first, but sometimes the first 10 people didn't follow any of the instructions. And so really take the time to slow down, listen to what was being asked of you in the application, completely fill it out, and then reach back out to the landlord. If you can be there in person for any of the in-person showings, that's going to be your best bet to make sure that you've done everything correctly. As we've talked about already, it's a good idea to prepare for higher prices. This isn't true across the board. You can always find a good deal if you're willing to look, but for the most part, everything is more expensive this year, especially as we're rebalancing from COVID. Hunter, I'm a renter. You're saying that there's no hope for me? No, don't worry, we're getting there, I promise. Address the rental market and what that means for landlords and tenants alike. But you're wondering, what can I do to combat these higher prices? I need to find somewhere to live. One strategy is to be flexible on location. Less popular neighborhoods may be cheaper and easier to secure because you'll have less people trying to compete for that same property. You just need to figure out what your priorities are and maybe make some compromises. For example, let's say you absolutely love the homes in Perry District, but you're not really down with the rental prices. I might tell you to consider Garland District. It's a completely different part of town, but the homes and the vibe and the style of the neighborhood feel kind of similar, and it's one of the only other areas where you have walkability in your neighborhood. If you're thinking about moving to Spokane, I'd love to hop on a Zoom call and share my insider knowledge about the different neighborhoods of Spokane. Even if you're considering renting before you get here, don't worry, I'm more than happy to help. Another strategy is to look for properties that might need a little bit of work. Certain landlords are willing to make a deal if you could do upgrades or repairs in trade for a lower rent bill. Now, this is something that I don't always recommend from the landlord side because it really can be challenging to negotiate this and maintain the value of trading long-term work for lower rent. Who winds up winning in the end? If everyone really agrees to it and is happy with the situation, it can work. Same triplex, before I had upgraded it and made it as nice as it is today, I inherited a few of the tenants when I bought the property, and all three of them were paying really low rent, way under market. But all three of them wanted me to not update the units at all. A few of them had issues, several of them smelled, and for the most part they asked me, please, we just don't want to go anywhere. Can we just keep them this way? And we wound up coming to an agreement where they would clean them up a little bit for me and help me do some of the repairs, and then I wouldn't increase their rent for so many years. And it was a really great situation for everyone involved, but it required a lot of teamwork. And so just make sure that you're really negotiating this up front for the landlord and the tenants alike. You'll notice right now that some properties have more than 30 days market time on Zillow or Realtor.com as renters. When you see a property in that kind of situation, you might want to reach out to the landlord and ask them, why don't they think they've gotten the price they've listed it at? Do they have anyone interested? Is there a reason it's still on the market? It might be a good opportunity for you to reach out to them and ask, will they take a lower amount if you can't afford what they have posted? Because if it's been there for 30 days, that's a good opportunity for other people to have come by and said, this is too expensive. Basically, if you see something you like, don't be afraid to negotiate. You never know what might happen. Lastly, another big trend in Spokane is an increase in the Airbnb and VRBO market. This is really because of two different reasons. One, local city ordinances allow in a great many areas for Airbnbs to be made, and so people are trending that direction because we have so little inventory and so many people coming and visiting throughout the year for different events, conferences, and just because their families are here. So what we've also seen is that this has increased rental prices across the board because people can take homes and make more money turning them into an Airbnb than they would have as a long-term rental or a 6 or 12-month rental that you might use as a house. This is great in some cases because if you just need a short 2 or 3 month rental as you're getting to test the city, there are a plethora of new options that maybe wouldn't have been available to you. Unfortunately, if you're looking for a 12-month rental, you might be annoyed to find that some of your favorite areas have been converted to Airbnb hotspots. You might wonder, well, Hunter, why are there so many more Airbnbs than there used to be? Well, that brings me to the second reason. It's not just the economics of landlords being able to make more money month after month. It's that it's easier to evict people if they don't follow the rules. When I have a tenant on a 12-month lease, if they stop paying rent, it might take me 6 to 8 months to actually evict them, and they can not pay rent that entire time. That can be extremely expensive for me, both legally and on the repair bill when I finally get the property back. If I have someone who's not following the rules and doesn't pay or does something to hurt my property on the Airbnb side, I can kick them out within 24 hours notice. And so as a landlord, it gives me a lot more protection to defend my family, my finances, and my property should something go wrong. So there you have it, the current state of the Spokane rental market. While it can be difficult for some people to find what they like, the market is booming and there are opportunities for landlords and renters alike. Please just keep these tips in mind, and we know you'll be able to find what you're looking for. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay up to date on all the news and trends in Spokane, be sure to hit the like button, leave a comment or a question for our channel, and don't forget to subscribe. By subscribing, you'll be the first to know anytime we release a new video, and it'll be sure to help you as you make your transition to Spokane. As always, whether you're looking to move now or just considering Spokane in the future, I'd be more than happy to hop on a call. Looking forward to chatting with you and helping you make the move here to the Great Northwest.